T2 waiting for our email. Dr. Sol.
For the excellence in broadcasting.
This is insane. So women can't even clean now.
No, they can. You see, I did not say that. Those are not my words. I did not say that. By the international brands or foreign brands, we are killing our industry. We are killing our people. We are killing the craftsmanship that we don't have. Quality is horrible.
Yeah, there's a week that you
many
got.
people are quality is horrible.
Guys, what is this? Are you talking about a brothel? What's going on?
No, man.
Yeah, is that you're a born-again Christian, but you're caught watching porn on Twitter.
Oh, that's fine.
That's fine.
What's the problem?
No one is holier than thou for porn.
Beautiful eyes, man. Dude, you're a good-looking guy, eh? No TV, no
What's a
TV.
funny way?
There's nothing as a worst thing as a skew hemline or uneven hemline. Or I man, listen to you.
Carry him.
It's not him. But the hemline.
So, has anyone ever told you that you look very intimidating?
He's like, I've never had an interview in this manner in my whole life.
No, you know what I'm asking, dog. First time I ever met you, bro, it was, you probably don't remember this. Long time ago, it was an event, and I saw you walk in, you know? Can't remember what event it was. And your aura, man, it's just like, fucking, you got this look on your face, like, don't fuck with me. I don't think I've ever seen you smile, bro. Like, you know what I
I've
mean?
been laughing with you.
Hey?
I've been laughing with you the whole morning, the whole time. I said.
Besides today, yeah.
I don't know. I've heard it before. People's like, I'm too serious, but I'm not. Yeah.
So are you cognizant of like, this is how I look, or you like, you don't give a fuck?
No, I it's just me every day. I don't even think about it. Yeah.
Sol has been that way since early adults, because I think that's when maybe people grow into themselves.
Yeah, I think when you find your comfort zone and you get comfortable in your skin, you just embrace that on a daily basis. There's a particular way I carry myself. I know that. And I think that's what you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's me. I don't have any other.
So when you're happy, smile first. Let's see. What does that look like?
How much you going to pay me?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome one of the greatest fashion designers to come out of this country, Dr. David Tlale! Yes, for those who don't know, Dr. David Tlale is a fashion designer. He was born in Vosloorus. He was raised by a single mother. His work has been showcased at Cape Town Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week, Paris Fashion Week. Wow. He's also designed collections for major retailers like Edgar's. This was like back in the time, right?
That was like 100 years ago.
That's a brilliant thing, bro.
Yeah,
like
no,
to
that
get
was
into
really,
retail.
really amazing, yeah.
As a black person, it's amazing, right?
Yeah, it was nice.
How did that deal come about? Like, did you source it out or?
I mean, it was good because, we were doing a store within a store project, kind of like concept. And it was really amazing because we did a diffusion line and then we're starting to reach out to the masses. Before we know it, Edgar Dale went under.
Wow,
But
man.
we did it.
What's a diffusion line?
A less expensive range or collection.
I see.
For the masses.
At the retail level.
Yeah, for the masses. It's mass production.
Okay.
We easily do like 500 units per style instead of doing 5 units per style.
Okay.
In 2022, Tlale was conferred with an honorary degree by the Tshwane University of Technology, and he dedicated the degree to his late mother. How did you get that, man? So this is now, that's why we call you Dr. David Tlale, yeah?
I even forget sometimes. But it was a beautiful journey. I think in 2021, the journey started. I got an email from the university. They're like, we are nominating you to be conferred with a doctorate in arts and fashion. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. Like, okay, they said, okay, but it's going to be a journey because I think the the committee of the academia has to sit and agree to it. Even the rectorate had to agree to it. And it was a long process. And only last year, not last year, the year before, I think July, 3 months before I actually graduated, that's when it was confirmed that.
So what do you got to do to get this?
I don't know what you gotta do. All I got was an email, and then people were just like, okay, we have to sit and talk about it. And also, I think they look at the work that you've done, the impact that you've had in your industry or faculty, and also, I think I can confirm this. I'm the first South African fashion designer to receive an honorary doctorate, and it has never happened before.
Wow!
And,
Shout out, man. That's big.
yeah,
amazing.
and also, I mean, also that brought a lot of talks from different universities to be like, why him?
Yes.
You know, with all the drama that he's had, the good, the bad, and the ugly front page of like creditors, debtors, and everything else. But now we're conferring him with a doctorate. I'm like, I didn't ask for it. It was granted to me. So I think more than anything else, I think it's the workload that you've done. I mean, most people don't know that this year, as a brand, we're turning 21.
Wow.
So I've been 21 years in the industry, 4 years of study, 4 years of lecturing, then 21 years of being in the industry, and so many other things that we've done. I think we're going to talk about it as we go along.
T2, waiting for our email. Dr. Saul.
For the excellence in podcast broadcasting. And this one will not be from a Bible school like Silomake, you know? Yeah, we're waiting.
Oh, the shame.
Man, giving away fake PhDs has to be like capo of the highest degree.
Oh, Saul.
His name is Saul, yeah? Welcome.
It's not Dr. Saul.
So I, for one, right, I speak for myself. I don't really care much about fashion, you know?
Yeah.
For me, it's just like clothes you put on. So
you think you don't care, but yeah, I'll come back to you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can't
You can, you can dissect it how you want. So for me, wearing clothes is just like to put something over my body so I'm not naked, right? Then I've started watching this show. I don't know if you've seen it on Apple TV. It's called The New Look.
Yes.
So it's basically, you've seen it, right?
I've seen it.
What do you think, eh?
It's a real deal.
Nah.
It's what really happens.
Yeah.
And I think also with all these internet TVs, you get to see much more when you look at the making the cut or the new look and next in fashion. I don't want to forget my own program, The Intern by David Tlale.
Oh, yes.
You get to see the real business of how actually one of the biggest brands that everybody buys, how it started in a tiny shop corner, like Ikaro Gomaraba style.
Yes.
But then you get to realize, like, if someone believes in something, you work on it and you perfect your craft, and then until you make it luxury from a tiny little corner shop. So it's
basically like how they basically explained how like all these brands that we know started like post the war, World War II or
World
one.
War II.
Yeah. So how like Balmain started, Balenciaga, Christian Dior,
Louis Vuitton.
Coco Chanel, Louis Vuitton. It's so interesting, man. So after watching that, I'm like, oh shit, this fashion thing is quite interesting.
I mean, when you look at Chanel, how she actually started, it's like the real thing, and how it was like very tiny, and then from hats, and then into clothing, and then where are we today?
So now, when I was looking at that show, right, because most of the designers were men, I wanted to ask you, how do you think like men find it easy to design stuff for women?
I know this for sure because I have a particular look or image when I look at a woman, how I want her to look. And men, and no offense to women, they are great designers. We appreciate you, and don't catch feelings. I think men, we understand women's bodies better than women that understand themselves. And also we're not scared to embrace and communicate or even express our artistry on their bodies. Not only on women, but also on men as well. Because you find, you look at not only in fashion, the most greatest chefs in the world are men. Why? Because we're not scared to explore and express our creativity. And then also, more than anything else, you find, I'm gonna bring it home. When you have a lady who does, your domestic work at home.
Yes.
And then you bring a male to come and do the domestic work, there's a difference.
Oh, yes, yes.
So
yes.
there's a level of attention, paying to detail. Is like men just like go to extra lengths, more than just like ladies.
So you're saying
There's
I should get
nothing wrong.
a male helper?
Oh, I've always worked with male helpers. They're amazing.
No way.
Ways, man. Them niggas must do the garden in my house. I'm not letting a male nigga clean my stuff.
The thing is, you have not tried it.
Yeah.
And also even in my office, the people that clean my office are males, because they are able to carry, they're able to move things around, they're able to just like clean better than women. They do. Women, they do it, but it's like elevated. I'm my mother's child. My mom taught me how to clean. I clean better than my sisters. I know this for sure.
That's crazy.
So
I get it though. I want to cast like about Tlale, like, and I don't say it in a bad way, right? Those guys clean the best, like unemployed, chilling. The guys you'll just find not like smokers, nyaupe. They clean the best.
they do.
And also,
Exactly. And even you get the foreign guys coming to clean your house, work for you, they are the best. And if you find some of the international people like big brands, when you go to their homes, they only work with butlers. Why? Because attention to detail.
This is insane. So women can't even clean now.
No, they can. You see, I did not say that. Those are not my words. I did not say that.
Yes.
No, because when you go to a hotel, when you get to the door, who do you receive? Who receives you?
No, I get
A
you.
butler.
It's making sense now.
Who
Yeah.
takes you to
chef.
your room?
Yeah.
Is a butler.
Yeah. You got me when you said the chef. I'm like, shit. Yeah, actually, you're right.
Most restaurants, 80% of the restaurants, the head chef is a male.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're saying that I do care about fashion. What did you say? Why did you say that?
You're wearing clothes, you're wearing underpants, you wear shoes. Whether they are matching or not, someone had to make a decision on it. Whether it's a t-shirt, someone had to think about that print that's on your t-shirt.
Not really. I just grab the first thing I see.
No, it's not just grabbing. You're supporting an entire ecosystem. Before it was a t-shirt, it was cotton that had to be grown. Somebody had to take it and process it into yarn. From yarn, it had to be dyed. From dyeing, it had to be cut and sewing. So you're part of the ecosystem whether you want to or not. So you can't say you don't care about fashion.
Yeah, but I can't go walk around naked.
Oh, I'm not saying you should walk around naked. You may not care about fashion, but you are part of it.
so you agree that he doesn't
by wearing
care?
it.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
I get
Because
you,
there's
I
a
get
decision
you.
you made to pick it
There's a
up.
decision why you wore those burgundy
Yeah,
shorts
got you.
today.
Yes.
This cap that you're wearing.
Yes,
You make
yes.
a conscious decision.
But I'm part of the system. I
yeah,
get
that you don't want to go to a barber today, you want to wear a cap.
Yes, I get you.
The cap is black and it matches with the t-shirt.
And then, why do you think us as black people are so obsessed with, the brands we were talking about earlier, your Christian Dior's, your Balenciagas? Why do you think that is?
I think, growing up Ekasi, you'd see quite a lot. There was a huge movement of Amapansula when we used to wear, not me, my elderly, they used to wear Ducks of London. It was high fashion then. And there was a huge movement to Swenka. And those things, they played a major role in people's minds to say, if I wear a particular brand, I belong to a particular class, a group of people. And also as black people, we want to show off a lot. But you ask a person, do you have a passport? They're like, no, what am I going to do with a passport? But this person is wearing a DNG or even a Prada, Gogumtariana and whatever. I'm like, what country have you traveled to? I have not left the country.
The Kasi even.
It's a township thing, and not only here, guys. I'm telling you, even in the US, it's the same story. Americans are some very lazy people to travel. But anyway, bring it back to your questions that we want to be affirmed and confirmed that we've made it in life. That's why we have to be seen wearing a particular brand. And those things have made us to live in poverty more than any other race under the sun. Because you look at today, young people, young generations, they're also catching up to that. Our parents are kind of like, okay. Because our parents, I know this, my mom, when she was raising us up, when she was a domestic worker, the most that she was getting was 3,000 rand. And there was 5 of us, Ekai, and then there was my mom. And then she had to make sure that we go to school. We've got school uniform. We eat every Sunday or every day. And Sunday, there's like a 7 colors meal. We go to church. I'm raised from a Christian church family. And we had to go to church every Sunday. And there was always Sunday's best. And we had to like look the part. We can't just like looking with like torn pants or like shoes that are like old and stuff. And my mom did well. Imagine with 3,000 rands, 5 kids. And our parents knew how to do it.
Yeah.
But today, our generation is like, they'll ask, what am I going to do with 3,000 rand?
Exactly.
What am I going to do? So the thing is, we are trying to aspire to something that we can't even afford, something that we don't even know where it's made. As long as, Bati, it's LV, I want to be part of it because I want to show my friends and they must respect me. But Mausuga Lapo, Yolala Gopi, Etrasin. You don't even have a proper home to stay in, but you'd rather look good.
Do you think people understand the concept of, okay, when I'm supporting Christian Dior or whatever, I'm literally taking money to out of the country?
I don't think people understand that. And this is what happened to me. Like last week, Wednesday, on a holiday, I went to Sandton City for the first time in about a year and a half. And because people is like, you must go and see this diamond walk thing. It's like literally, it's pumping. There's like queues. I'm like, no, there's nothing like that. And I went there. I like literally around 11, 12, there was no queues. And I started doing like all other stores, came back. By the time I came back, there was already queues outside. And I'm like, what madness is this? Number one, every product that is in these luxury stores is not made in South Africa. It's made somewhere in the world. I'm not going to be mentioning names, but made somewhere in the world. Yeah. We are the first one as Black people to go and support. The only people that get I'm not sure even it's a percentage of this money, is the people that are working there.
Yes.
Immediately you swipe your card or give them the cash. That money leaves the country.
Yeah.
And what you are saying David Tlale, Maxhosa, Tebe Magugu, Tula Cindy, and many other brands, Rich Mnisi, are not good enough. But the Europeans and the Americans are good enough. We are willing to give them 100,000 on the spot. Clean. But you come to me, you say, David, I want to dress, but I want to spend 5,000. The level of disrespect. You will never, ever in your life meet Louis Vuitton. You'll never, ever in your life
They don't
meet
even know who
Gucci.
the fuck you are.
Do they care, actually?
No,
they don't. Laduma works here. We produce all our products in South Africa. But people go to Laduma store. They're like, no, I'm not going to buy Laduma because it's too expensive. But they have a nerve to go to Diamond Walk and drop 200K in one day buying 2 items. And this comes to the beef that I have with most celebrities. They can say whatever, I don't care anymore. They would come to us as brands, please dress me for this event. I'm like, what's your budget? They're like, no, I'm going to give you PR. I'm like, when I go to the store.
PR.
Me.
Imagine, bro.
And then they like, go to this. I have to go to a fabric store to buy fabric, work with my design team. We cut this dress. They're very painful like that. They're like, no, but this dress has been seen. I want something that has never been seen. I'm like, on whose budget? Because I buy fabric, I have to pay my team. On my time, I have to pay rent wherever I'm working. And then they wear the dress. But before they wear the dress, they buy a YSL bag and shoe. What do? They unbox YSL, YSL this and that. David Tlale is like, by the way. But they did not get the YSL for free. They bought it.
Yes. And are doing free PR.
Exactly. And they're doing free PR for these international brands who don't give a hoot about who they are.
Are you talking about Basana Kumala? Because you guys had a fallout because she said you charged too much.
Well, I am expensive for those people who can't afford me.
And who else?
It's Sabita Mbuli as well.
Sabuta Mbili, yeah.
Yeah.
But Basana's rich, man.
She said what?
Charge too much.
Sabita Mbuli.
She said what?
No, it was that's tying to that conversation of when you talk about people who are not willing to spend that much on your brand.
Yeah.
So there was that because you previously used to work with them, and it seems like there was
no, because they're not willing to support us. And I'm saying we are willing to spend so much money in marketing ourselves to say we are building an international brand based in South Africa. And I'm not mentioning names. I'm saying most of these celebrities. That's why I do not even dress anybody today, because they don't support you. They like people have, like for me, immediately say I'm wearing David Tlale. The question is, how did you support him? How do you think his livelihood is going on a daily basis? Because I have bills to pay.
Yeah,
I have people to pay. I have fabric suppliers to pay. And then you'll pay a makeup artist, you'll pay a hairstylist if you do, because most of these celebrities are paid for nothing. And then there's a photographer that has to come and do the BTS for your content. And then everybody gets paid by the designer.
By the designer.
I don't know who fell from which tree or which bed that said designers got all the products for free. You can go get it.
So wait, can I call you Brother Dave? Or is that...
No, call me David, please.
Just David. No?
Yes.
So David,
He designs the bra. He's not a bra.
okay, cool. So obviously we know the culture of the Met Gala and the likes, in America. Right?
Yeah.
You can tell that the designers, they are getting paid, and maybe if they're not even getting paid, there is some sort of a trade exchange because the Met Gala is so big and whatever.
Exactly.
So in SA, is it the same concept, or what happens? It's just free?
I want to find out and on my designer friends, we can talk about this. Any designer that has seen a celebrity make them get a breakthrough in the industry. Wow. I've never seen that. Sure. And to a point whereby if I say I'm dressing Michelle Obama and I'm selling this particular dress and it's online, I've known this. Monique Lullier dressed Michelle Obama during the inauguration. The dress was sold out within few hours online. Wow. That is what we are talking about.
That's influence.
But here, I don't know.
We've seen a combination.
Sorry, Ghost Lady. Is it? So, are you giving the people free dresses that we see when they're parading?
I used to when I started. Wow. I don't do it anymore.
That's crazy.
Because I know better.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's so unfortunate.
And it did nothing for you.
It did nothing, bro.
So there's no.
It's a scam, basically.
It's
a scam.
When you start, it's okay to do okay, wear this, fine, get a bit of PR, but then it starts eating in your pocket. Because every other week or every other month there is an event, there's a red carpet, there's a yellow carpet, black carpet, but who's paying you?
Gert Johan and Bonang, wasn't that a good combination? Because I think Bonang pushed Gert Johan so much.
I don't know. Please ask Gert.
Because only he knows if there was sales.
I don't know their business. I don't know their relationship. So I can only talk about my relationship.
So in an ideal world, right? Okay, cool. So we get this concept that black people want to be fall under one class, whatever. That's why we do what we do, right? So that concept is not going anywhere because I think that's it's going to come for generations to come, right? So in an ideal world, if we still maintained that perception, however, instead of buying a Christian Dior, we're supporting local, how would it change the fashion industry? Like, if we do a deep dive, how would that change in the country?
Okay, maybe let's start in understanding this whole thing. If the big brands that are in South Africa, they're coming in like a Louis Vuitton or whoever it is there. They're saying we're opening a store in South Africa. A portion of that product should be manufactured in South Africa. That supports the clothing and textile industry in South Africa. Even if they say, no, we're going to make these blouses wherever they are. When they come to South Africa, we put on the buttons. That's fine. 2 or 5 people are going to benefit from that. What I'm against is that money comes in and goes out without the benefit of the industry at large. Okay. And we have to make sure that we understand how this clothing and textile actually work, because people don't understand it.
No.
Because immediately you're saying, like I said earlier, immediately you buy a Louis Vuitton or a Dolce, you're saying David Tlale is not good enough for me. But then you have a nerve to come to David Tlale to say, I only have 10,000 for a metric dance, or even bring a picture that Beyonce was wearing. The dress costs at least $8,000 and you want to pay 8,000 rands. So you do the mathematics. So there's a lot of education that we need to do with our people. We need to respect the artistry that is behind the clothing and textile industry. I broke it down to you like about just a basic T-shirt. How many people's, how many hands this T-shirt go through, from planting the cotton, processing it into yarn, fiber dyeing, and then also designing that artwork, and then actually making it. And then there's someone who's going to merchandise and it's okay, fine. We believe we can make 5,000 of these, and then these stores can actually buy from us. And then ultimately you go buy it. And imagine the whole ecosystem if it's supported from basic levels. Now, even our government has gone to a point of like not even supporting the clothing and textile industry. Our mills, where we actually used to make fabrics in South Africa, they've closed down. Whoa. Factories have shut down. Little do you know that my chair is going down.
It's gone down.
I saw that.
This chair again, man. It's been a thing, man. Remember this chick gave us we changed it.
Yeah.
It hasn't done this in a while.
It must be the government. It must be the government.
On the podcast.
The government is listening.
Is listening. And all I'm saying is that the government has not supported the clothing and textile industry so many times. And the only thing that they have done, they've opened in a huge pool of cheap clothing to come into the country. There's so many Chinatowns in this country. Cheap clothing that kills the clothing and textile industry, whereby in the Oriental Plaza where when I grew up, even starting my brand, we used to go there to buy fabric. There was much more fabric stores, but if you go there today, it's just like a jumble sale. There's cheap wedding dress, you can get it there, evening dresses, metric dance dresses, bridesmaids dresses. How many fabric stores are still there? You can count them in one hand. One hand. And which is so disheartening, because here we're saying we are the new age designers and we are trying to resuscitate the clothing and textile industry, and yet our government is working against us. They're just like free for all.
So how do you explain the success of Maxhosa? Because they seem to be doing well.
They're doing well, but I mean, they're being knocked off left, right, and center.
Then there's knockoffs.
And the knockoffs are not even produced locally. They're not manufactured locally.
That's it. So, and then someone's like, oh, why must I buy Maxhosa for X amount of money? I can go to Small Street and
the
get
money
it for
goes to
500
China.
And the money still goes back to China. And the very people that are saying we want to see black industrialists coming on, they don't even understand the core ground. This is what I'm saying. If you ask the very Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, he's never been here. Does he know what you guys do? He doesn't. Does he know what I do? He's never been. And the people that are sitting there and just like, oh yeah, we're proud of you. I'm like, don't ever say that you're proud of me. Because every time I raise my hand, there's like red tape. And then the next thing they want, and people say, Tlale this, Tlale that. I'm like, Tlale worked very hard before she left this country. It's another conversation for another day. And I know both of you were on Tyler's case. Anyway.
Yeah, you're cooking, eh?
Tell them, David.
I'm just saying,
Yes.
it's very important to
But I get your point.
It's from a good place.
It's
All I'm just saying is we gotta understand the clothing and textile industry, that it's bigger than what we think it is. And the more we buy the international brands or foreign brands, we are killing our industry. We are killing our people. We are killing the craftsmanship that we don't have. We are killing the dream of that young child who used to see David Tlale starting up. And like, one day I want to be like David Tlale. But when they get there, there's no longer fabric suppliers. There's no longer outlets that actually supporting local brands. And when you look at when we were growing up, our parents used to buy from boutiques like Shelley's. They used to buy from Doré and Stutterfords, because there was multiple brands, South African brands there. But today, they're no longer there. All the international brands has taken over all the shops.
So what do you think about these new kids, man? New kids on the block, your Maxhosas, your Latuma, Rich Mnisi. Yeah.
The one thing I know is that they're doing amazing work. And we all support one another. And people think like there's beef amongst us. There's no beef. There's like 1985 when people used to watch The Bold and the Beautiful between the Foresters and... I'm like...
The houses.
No, the houses like... And that was an unnecessary beef, because at the end of it all, we are all in South Africa.
Yeah.
There's over 57 million people.
Yes.
I cannot service 57 million people. If I have my 500 people, I'm cool, because there's a slice for everybody in this loaf of bread. So I believe Each and every designer in this country or in this continent, they're doing their bit. But we just need support. We just need people to believe in our madness. And if you look at Nigeria, one of the best countries, and Ghana, they support their own.
Fucked up.
They don't care.
Fucked up. They don't waver.
You can
They don't
come
come
in.
Music, everything.
Fashion.
Yeah.
It's a multi-billion-dollar business that happens on the ground, and people don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nigerians will first support their local designer before they come and buy David Tlale. They don't care. And if you look at them, they are very proud of their tradition. They are proud of their fabrications. When they go to a dinner or whatever, they're wearing their regalia.
Yeah.
That's why even South African now, they're doing like Nigerian weddings. I'm like, what's happening? I mean, like the South African women, they're wearing a gele. I'm like, why are you wearing a gele? Because where does the gele feature in this whole thing? But anyway, it just shows you how actually Nigerians actually support their own. And in Nigeria, there's an event every weekend, okay? Or every other day. And where do they go?
And
they go to their
support, yeah.
tailors,
Yeah.
they go to their
Everyone has a
designers,
tailor there.
and everybody's got a tailor. What do we do here?
David, we're like a mini America. Everything that's American, we worship. Everything, bro. Everything.
I mean, like, we've been brainwashed, and I think the colonialism just killed us a bit. There's a pros and cons of it, okay? Because everybody in the continent think we are like in
Mini
America,
America,
mini
yes.
America. So our systems work. I'm blessed to live in South Africa and
course.
work in South Africa, which is really amazing. But there are things that I just feel like, can we just undo these things? Because it's not everything that comes from Europe or from America is right.
Yes.
And people have to wait for you to like succeed. You look at Black Coffee, you look at Tyler.
Then, only
you look
then.
at Charlize Theron, they're like, oh,
To some bed,
they're like, oh, yeah. And like,
Only then are you worthy.
I'm going to tell you one thing. In 2012, when I started showing at New York Fashion Week, everyone like, oh my God, David Tlale Fashion Week, And then 2013, 14, 15, 17, whatever. And then I just like stopped. And then everything, like the cloud has kind of like fallen. And people are like, oh, David Tlale has fallen. It's long. I'll show again New York Fashion Week. It's like, no, dude. There's strategy in everything that we do. And today, when we look at why people buy international brands more than local brands, it's because of
Yeah.
mentality.
Yeah.
And they think you're not good enough until one day they need you.
I mean, look at that drink Prime, bro. It came, there was a big
Yeah, people
hoo-ha.
are buying it
The
for 300 bucks.
Now they're selling it for 3 rand.
20 rand. You see, so Chablan is selling it at the robots. No, it's like, how we betting it? Yeah.
You had a question, Ghost Lady.
Sorry.
The questions about just like the buying culture. We see now we're buying a lot from your Shein, Temu. Temu has gotten
Do you buy from them?
no.
I would kill you.
And also your Fashion Nova.
Why? What's wrong? What are those? What are those?
But people buy from those because it's like, yo, let's keep a secret song, 150.
And then
Yeah.
must figure sinjani.
Yeah, the quality.
No, must figure sinjani. No problem.
I've never bought.
yeah.
What websites
Go
are those,
ahead,
guys?
please,
Oh,
go ahead.
quality bad. Fact checker. Fact checker says the quality is generally
Yeah,
bad.
she got it. Just her order arrived from Temu.
Oh, quality is horrible.
Yeah, there's a week that she
so many
got.
people like horrible. Quality is horrible.
Guys, what is this? Are you talking about a brothel? What's going on? What are
No man. it's app that have got clothes for cheap.
okay. Yes, Ghost Lady.
No. So I was just asking David, how is he feeling of this new wave
the
of your Shein? You know, you get your Temus and Fashion Nova. There's these brands, and
Amazon is in
it
the country
becomes
as well.
easy. Yeah. Amazon just arrived. Yeah.
I don't even know if they even pay tax. Shein and Temu.
Yeah, so there's nothing I can do about it, but people fall for it. But you know what I love about it? Everybody gets disappointed, and it's so amazing because at the end of it all, they come back to us. And I'm saying, if you bought your matric dance from me, from the word go, you wouldn't have spent so much money. Whether you spend 20 rands or 200 rand or whatever, now I'm going to charge you even furthermore so that you can respect me going forward.
What's your business model, bro? Like, how do you make money? Are you like Christian Dior, when he started, he was very exclusive. Like, you only did dresses for a certain amount of women. Are you the similar business model?
That's what people thought.
Yeah.
People don't know my business. Anyway, we started out as a high-end, doing like evening dresses and those loud dresses. And then over the years, I think it was in 2009, we started doing like ready-to-wear. We started supplying stores and everything else. And our biggest business is bespoke, even today, because it's what I love most. But we do ready-to-wear. That's why when we go to New York Fashion Week, Paris Fashion Week, we showcase ready-to-wear, fuse it with the evening dresses, just to show the creativity. Business model varies from time to time. Where we are right now, we are focusing on distribution. We have 2 stores in South Africa. We're supplying a store in Ghana, in Nigeria.
Nice.
And also we do trade shows in Paris and in New York, a bit of Milan. So that's what we do.
If Ghana and Nigeria are so patriotic and they support their own, how did you penetrate that market?
Let me drink water.
Lift up the seats.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing us in front of a
brought my
legend.
throne.
Anyway.
Can't you design a chair for us that won't go down?
Anyway, the whole journey of getting into Nigeria was like in 2003 after I won the El New Talent. At South African Fashion Week, I got invited to showcase in Nigeria. And slowly I got, people got to see the brand David Tlale, and because Nigeria is quite big. And once you start showcasing in Nigeria, the whole continent actually pays attention. And then
Wow.
over the years, I've just been invited over and over. And then GT Bank, which is one of the most amazing fashion platform, invited me. I think I've done GT Bank 4 times. It's a fashion weekend. And designers, buyers, clients from all over the continent, they come through. That's where they invite the likes of Depadan, Naomi Campbell, and ever to come and be part of that. So being part of the continent or penetrating the continent has been just like all about showcasing in the continent. And I'm very patriotic about Africa and South Africa because I believe we have it going from here at home, and the world wants to be part of us. The continent wants to be part of us, but we also want to be part of the continent. And being part of Ghana was also like getting there by being invited by Glitz Fashion Week and stuff like that. We've showcased in Uganda, Zimbabwe, Cameroon, you name it. So we get invited every other year to do shows in the continent. And there is this beautiful cross-pollination amongst the stylists, the bloggers, and the influencers. We'll talk about them one day.
Yeah.
And then they start talking about your brand, which is really, really beautiful.
You mentioned earlier you've been in the game for so long. You got a bit of drama, which I want to address shortly.
I always have drama.
Yeah, which I want to address shortly. But before that...
But don't take me to my past, because I'm not my past.
We'll talk about this.
We'll see.
In the future, not now.
Let's talk about today.
I wanted to ask you, what do you think is the secret behind a dope, great designer?
There's no secret. It's knowing yourself, knowing who you are, knowing what you stand for, and knowing what defines you. Like I said, I was raised in a Christian family. The values that my mom taught me about knowing who God is, what God is about, still plays a major role in my life today. I train a lot of young designers, and I say to them, I don't train you to become a great designer. I will help you to be much more principled, because I've seen amazing, groundbreaking designers come and go. But because of lack of principles, it's a big issue. Principle, simple thing. Be punctual.
Yeah.
Number 2, just respect yourself. Love yourself. And also respect the other person. Then all those things, when you're giving them to yourself, it's easy to start imparting that to your job, to your work, or to your craft. Then from there, it's easy to respect the next person, whether it be a client or anything else. In the olden days, they've always called designers divas because they were people, not me. People will say, you're always late, you're doing that. I'm like, we don't have to do that. Yes, there were times whereby I was like that because I was falling into the trap of like, no, people must wait for me. No, for someone to say, I'm coming to spend money with you, respect my 5 rand. Respect it in all aspects. And even if is a lady that is bringing her daughter for a matric dance, or you're dealing with a CEO of a company or a president or a queen or first lady, it don't matter. Money is money. Just respect it. And the sad part is the new generation or young designers, they don't They're like, oh no, I just want to be seen with these high flyers.
Yeah.
They're not there forever. The people that will always support you is people that have been with you from when you started.
Have you designed for kings and queens?
Yes, I have.
Wow.
No, I signed a non-disclosure.
Oh, wow.
Why would they want to keep it a secret?
No, because they are kings and queens.
Wow. By the way, bro, your hair looks like, how do you do that, bro? It looks like it doesn't move, nothing like
It will not move.
It looks like it's that all the time.
It's just there.
Yeah, it's just
It's like one of constantly flexing, like.
I'm looking at him like, this is fucking amazing, bro. Yeah, we need a chair like that.
No, next time if I ever come, I'll bring my throne. Don't worry.
Yes, so why don't you like talking about your past drama?
It's because it's in the past,
Yeah.
and don't bring it back.
But don't you think, as you know, people that love your work and follow you, we need clarity on some of the things? Because obviously, what happens is people write stuff about you,
Yes.
and then you never get to rebuke or say anything.
Yeah.
I don't, and that's my portion, and that's how I deal with it, because it's my truth and it's what I stand for. And I have no time to give anyone unnecessary airtime on my time, because I believe you've called me here on my own accolades and my own what you know about me and what I do for a living. And that's why I honored this. And if I'll now have to give someone another drama that has happened 5 years ago, 2 years ago, last year or last week, or even yesterday,
Yeah.
they don't deserve it.
But-
This is my time.
But
and
isn't
your
that part of your journey, though? Like the bad?
It is part of the journey. The good, and I stand for it, and I will always man up for it. That it happened, but I'm not going to talk about it to amplify it, because immediately I start talking about it, I'm amplifying something, and I'm resurrecting the dead, and I don't have time for that.
So you have no like ambition to like clear the air and make so
Or make your, because normally it's one side of the story that people hear sometimes, and then you get a platform for your side of the story to be heard. Because some people, in their heads, it's the only side they got is the truth.
Yeah.
because like for
And the
example,
truth may not be the truth.
the first drama here is that you're a born again Christian, but you're caught watching porn on Twitter.
Oh, that's fine.
That's fine.
What's the problem?
No one is holier than thou for porn.
Whatever. Which porn are you watching?
Do you not have sex?
Oh, all the time.
Okay, do you not watch porn?
Fucked up.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's your favorite category?
That's my personal life.
Okay.
Yeah. And if anyone goes on about that tweet, and I mean you want me to unfold this whole thing, and I hate going to these things because my account was hacked
Okay.
more than once, and so many times I had to fight to get my Instagram account, my Twitter account, my Facebook account, because people just have a particular and also ulterior motives, and that's why I was just like, you write whatever. It is your truth.
Yeah.
I know what I stand for.
And that's all that
I know
matters.
where I'm going.
Yeah.
You know?
What about rumors of drug use? Have you ever used drugs before?
Oh, wow. I use drugs every day.
For real?
Damn.
What drugs?
Like cocaine, you know.
Imagine.
You've never been on coke?
Me.
Eh.
Do you want to test me?
I don't know how to test if someone's being on coke. Beautiful eyes, man. Dude, you're a good-looking guy, eh? No Diddy, no
That's a
Diddy.
funny way.
Diddy.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Come on.
Yeah.
How?
What's so funny?
I saw those pictures of now.
What do you see? Looks good. I mean, it's the truth.
There's nothing wrong.
It's the
Trying to
truth.
get that.
Thank you very
Man,
much.
what did you mean when you said you use drugs every day, though?
In America, when you go to a chemist, they call it a drugstore.
Ugh,
Whether it's...
Panado. That's
So you're
all.
on vitamins. That's what you're
I don't live on vitamins.
Yeah, but
I live a
David,
very
even if you
healthy-
were on drugs, it's not a big thing.
I live a very healthy life.
Yes,
so-
and vitamins is a foreign brand.
Yeah.
And you guys in the
And you
90s
have-
were crazy,
You have
man.
Miprodol is a drug. You have morphine is a drug. It's a drug.
But if you came out and said you did cocaine, it's not shocking. I mean, you guys were wild in
And
the
it's
90s.
also your personal stuff.
Exactly.
It's like your preference when you ask about porn and stuff. It's personal also.
I mean, and why does it matter to you?
Because it's
And
interesting.
how does it butter your bread?
It doesn't, but I'd like to know what your experience is because I'm fascinated about it.
No, my experiences, if you want to know my experiences, come and know me personally in
Isn't
my
that what
own
we're doing
private
here?
space. No.
What are we
This is
doing?
public space.
Chillers are not public.
A whole 5 million of them. All 5 million. That's one big family.
You want to get to know me, there's people that know me.
Yeah.
And they know me when I'm happy, when I'm down, when I'm having a good time. People that know me.
So how
Those
much
are my
of David
friends.
Tlale does the public know? Like in percentages, probably.
I mean, what do you know me for? For my work, isn't it?
Yeah.
And let's keep it like that.
Yeah. I find people like that so boring, man.
Am I boring you right now?
No, you're not boring me. I'm just saying, but your personal life sounds like it's wild.
No, my personal life is amazing.
Nah.
Yeah. I mean, if I was posting my personal life and my world travels and everything else, I think I'll be like one of the most celebrated person because people want to know where you're flying, who you're talking to, I mean, like, I've been very blessed and I pray to God that I keep my journey to continue to be as private as I've managed to do so. Because places that I've been to, people that I've sat with, the amount of times that I fly in and out of the country is crazy. But I love what I have. And I love the public to know what they know. And when I keep it like that.
So you've never like written a book? I didn't check
coming.
that. Oh wow! So all the stuff's gonna be in the book.
Wait for it.
Wow!
Where did you go to last?
I was in New York
How long ago?
11 days ago.
Oh, I know.
Why did you ask that?
No, because it says it's always just in and out. So I'm like, so where have you been?
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. How's the fashion in New York now? What's going on there?
It's really, really amazing. First
Because
of
we've
all,
seen the rise of Amapiano. You know, you've been following that.
listen, Amapiano rules the world right now. Not just the country, not the continent, but the world. I mean, in all parties that you go to, bars, clubs, rooftops, Amapiano is like everywhere. Fashion is, it's the heart of fashion in New York. People are very gullible. They want to buy clothes. If there's something new, they love it. You know, like Maxhosa is opening a store in New York.
Wow,
recently,
that's huge.
very
man.
soon. Yeah.
That's massive.
We are launching our atelier in New York, and so basically, there's a lot happening as a business.
Have you ever considered, because like fashion is, funny enough, it's such a big thing in Amapiano, in like collaborating with Amapiano. Because it's so big, but they're all wearing the same LV sneakers, the same Gucci stuff, which is heartbreaking, or 200,000 Rand Louis Vuitton jackets. No names mentioned. But like, you know? Have you ever thought of just focusing in on Amapiano?
Focusing on people now. Hey?
Yeah, because it would be a great vehicle. Like literally, because the guys love looking good on like the Amapiano guys. You've seen their you've seen their outfits.
And they got swag. Bro.
yeah.
Well, to me, it looks like drip.
and sometimes
whatever.
it looks like drip, but sometimes it's not. It's just really expensive, especially the Balmain stuff. You know, ugly and expensive.
And maybe they have the right people to dress for free because you know that people watch them and they then get the stuff.
They've got money because they spend 200K on Louis Vuitton jackets.
you're
Why should he
right.
dress
We're
them
not
for
doing
free?
it for free because they're going to a gig, they're getting paid.
Yeah.
So I
A
gotta
lot
get paid.
of money. They're millionaires. A lot of them.
And they're the biggest influencers, actually.
They are.
Yes, actually, and exports.
There is something that we're working on, so just watch the space.
Yeah, tap
And,
into
it's gonna
it.
be like, no, not tapping, it's gonna be like in it.
Wow. Yeah, please, bro. Definitely.
Black Coffee is into fashion. Has he ever hit you up? Like, have you ever done stuff for him?
Is that right?
Black Coffee.
Black
He
Coffee.
looks like he's into
We
fashion.
did a bit of work earlier on before he became like blow up.
Yeah.
But he's an amazing guy. I mean, I sure. The thing, like I told you, if I was posting my life,
Yeah.
I'd be like-
it'd be crazy, man.
showing receipts
And you still enjoy black coffee.
every day.
Bro, is it true, like, in your teenage life, you dated a woman?
Yes.
Oh, wow. What happened there?
Why do you want to know?
It's interesting, you know?
I'm not going to talk about my personal life in this platform. I totally refuse. Yeah.
But at least you gave us that you did date.
I did.
Yeah, you give us something.
Give us, thank you. Thank you, Brad Dave.
It's fine. You can call me Brad Dave. I'm older than you.
I wanted to say this. So I was watching The New Look, like I was telling you, right?
Yes.
And then there was a scene where Christian Dior, his father passes away.
Yeah.
And then after that, it inspired him to design some of his best work. So did that happen to you when your mother passed away?
Of course. I mean, I remember in 2019, I did a send-off collection for my mom, and I called it Joyce because that was my mom's name.
Wow.
And we put together a 76-piece collection, 76 models at African Fashion International. And I think it was one of the most beautiful moments in my journey. And I feel like post that, I went through a very hard time of grief and not acceptance, because my mom has always been like that pillar of strength and the only person that I know as a parent, because I don't know my dad, never met him. And I know that for the past 4 years, until recently, I broke out of that grief. And grief is something that's really, really horrible, especially to a creative or to any other person. But especially where you got your strength, or the person who was your anchor, leaves you unexpectedly so. Because my mom was not sick; she just did not wake up. You know, some people say just like, oh, she woke up dead. Like, no, how do you wake up dead? My mom just did not wake up one Sunday morning, and I was like, what is this?
Whoa.
And it was over. And there's like, no, Nix 510s. Can we have take 2? And at that moment, you have to now realign your entire universe, how you live your life, things that you used to do, things that you were accustomed to on a daily basis, every Sunday or whatever it is. And then you're left with this major void. And I think the biggest thing is that during that time, I had to now man up to become the father of the family. Then everybody's just looking up at me. I'm like, how do you? Because I'm also grieving. I'm also a child.
Yes.
And I think that took a huge knock, because then I had to make sure that my mom is sent off like gracefully so, and everything else. And then I know that for 4 years I hid behind my job. And I was just like, no, I'm okay. And then until recently started going for therapy to like, I'm not coping. For in the true sense of it. And I was like last year when we celebrated our 20th anniversary was one of the major knock, because my mom has always been part of my journey, attending all my fashion shows. And when the brand turned 20, there's this one woman that you're expecting to be sitting in a particular seat and giving you flowers when you take a bow. And you see that there was someone sitting there, but it was not her. And you'd be like, I'm going back, I'm not healing. And post that, I was like, realized that, okay, I have not let go. But yeah, in terms of work, it's an amazing journey, because you feel like there's now this guardian angel who's like doing the
What
most.
do you think you should say with your success, man? Because you've done some amazing things, bro.
My mom would, like, the one thing that she'd always say, even my first award that I won, she was like, oh, that's my boy, that's my boy. And you miss that voice. And nobody, it doesn't matter who you're dating or who you're married to, they will never say that word to you. They can say it, but it will not be the tone, it will make the voice, it will not have the gist of it.
How do you said only like recently did you really get over the grief or heal? How do you know when you've healed and you're over the grief of the passing of your mother?
To a point whereby I've always had my mom as my profile picture in my WhatsApp and on my phone and everything else. And I couldn't let go. And my doctor was like, my therapist was like, you gotta let go. Because if you don't let go, this whole thing is gonna keep you hostage. I'm like, how does my mom keep me hostage? I mean, I miss her.
She'd be proud of me.
She'd be proud of me.
To have her as a profile picture.
And then I think it was on Monday, I was talking to someone who's like, today I really miss my mom, like hardcore. And I just like shed a bit of a tear by myself. And it was okay. But the thing is, in grief, you don't heal completely. You learn to accept, you learn to deal with it. Letting go is the most difficult part of this whole journey.
Yeah.
Because someone says to me, but you must let go. I mean, it's been now 4 years since your mom passed. I'm like, how do you delete 49 years with 4 years?
Yeah.
You can't.
And yeah.
You can't.
You can't. It's
And
impossible.
because it goes beyond just the number of years. It's the memories. It's the relationship. It's the teachings.
The emotions.
It's the emotions. It's that phone call in the middle of the night, like, Ma, I'm going through stuff. She's like, let's pray.
Shit, and
Who do
Mother's
you
Day is
call?
coming up now.
Yeah, well, I hate those days. I just become absent. Let's not talk about it. But anyway, it's fine. But anyway, you have to go through it because this life goes on.
Life goes on.
And life goes, it doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't stop and wait for you. It goes on.
We've interviewed a lot of creatives, and one thing that I've seen that a lot of creatives suffer from, and I'd like to ask you because you're a fashion designer, is what's this thing? What's it called?
Imposter.
Imposter syndrome. Yes.
It's the one, bro.
Please break it down for him. Imposter
What's
syndrome.
imposter syndrome?
Imposter syndrome.
You're speaking too
It's
much
like-
English.
It's like say now you get a brief. I don't know what you call it in the fashion world. From it's a royal wedding, Prince, or it's the coronation, inauguration of Prince William into the English throne. Prince Charles is dead now, and he says, "Design me a suit." And at that moment, you feel like you start.
A suit for a dead person.
No.
No,
someone
Prince
who's
William.
attending.
He's
him
now
cook, let
he's
him
Prince William.
Okay.
Prince Charles is dead. Prince William is ascending to the throne, and he
Yeah.
says, "I'm ascend, and I want it designed by you." And
Yeah.
at that moment, it's a big moment,
Yeah.
for any designer.
Yeah.
You feel like
You're not
Made it.
worthy.
You're not worthy
you
of
feel
that
like you're not worthy. You feel like fuck.
You don't deserve it.
I don't deserve it. I don't know what I'm doing, and
They're
it's like
smoking drugs.
yeah, and it's not just the nerves, but they're almost crippling, of fuck. I'm gonna get caught out. I will fail this. The fear of failing that gig is more than the hunger and motivation that you've always had for that moment.
Yeah.
And you'd start doubting yourself to the point that it's crippling.
Yeah.
I don't think I've experienced that.
Bro.
Yeah, I think I've been very blessed in my
That's a
journey
blessing.
to be exposed to such at a very early age, from queens, first ladies, inaugurations of a president, and then they'll be dressing the wife and doing that. So that journey, and also because of my process on how I design, I would listen to the brief, do the sketch, come back home, do my samples, which is, we call it Tlale, and then I'll go back to see the client. And during that journey, there is no need to be intimidated or even feel like you're not worthy, because everything else that you've done over the years has been preparing you for that particular moment.
It's the journey.
The journey. And also it's the same thing that when in 2009, when I showcased first time at New York Fashion Week, I've always aspired to be them. And then I see these supermodels. Tyson Beckford walks in. Carly Kloss walks in. You name them. And they're like, oh my God, you get that moment?
Yes.
But you have to get out of that moment
realize you are
and
in as
realize,
well.
remember, you are the client. They are coming to buy from you. They are coming to buy services from you. So it's all those things that I say with time. And this is why I always say, some people, they're like, how did you get there? It's like, it's a journey. It doesn't happen overnight. Going to school, it teaches you how other designers, like Christian Dior, McQueen, how they did the dress for Kate and everything. It's a journey, and one step every day builds up your confidence. Even if you can mess up some other customers, you need to be able to fix it. Go back to say, I did not do you right. Can I fix it? Because we do that. It happens.
Wow.
Because what we do, it's art. And sometimes the dress just shows you flames. But you need to be able to man up to say, I did not service you right. Can we do a plan B? And then you do the plan B. And then sometimes the customer's like, no, I don't want it. I want my money. It's like, okay, no problem. But I'm willing to fix it. But all those things, they prepare you for that golden moment.
Okay. That's insane, bro.
Does it happen where a client is happy with their dress, you see it, and you're like, I didn't do you right, without them having to come to you and say, this is shit?
the thing, and this is why sometimes I stopped going to fashion weeks when I look at other people's work. I'm the worst critic for my own work. For my own work. So I'll be like, I'm seeing this bride going up, the staircase or down the aisle. I'll be like, that hemline should have been better. But at that moment, there's nothing we can do. She's getting married. We go through it. As long as she's happy at that particular moment, I know that I can do better. And that's why every time, even in my travels, I go for research. I'm still learning even now. Every time I travel, I go to different boutiques, different designers, and see how they do things. And I come and implement it in my studio. And my team are like, how did you learn this? And I work with people that have been in the industry for long. Abo Mama and Abo Baba, like been 15, 20, 30 years in the industry. They're like, we've never done anything like this. But it's all about wanting to be the best in your own game and not wanting to compete with another designer. You just do you because, and even my designers will tell you, my interns, they'll tell you like, he's horrible when it comes to a hemline. There's nothing as a worse thing as a skew hemline or uneven hemline. Or
him means.
Aye, man, listen to him.
Kari him.
It's not him. But the hemline, yeah, okay. And how do you deal with that though, knowing that you're not good at it?
It's not good. It's knowing that you can do better. It's not that you're not good. It's still good. It's still excellent in the eyes of the beholder. But you as a creative, I'm like, I could have done this. I could have done this. And that's why after every collection, we look back, it was like, we could have done this. We could have done. Even people think like, oh my God, this was one of the best collections. I'm like, yeah, that's fine.
We had the same thing when we started shooting live shows. Hey, we sucked, bro. Terrible.
But it was new space. Remember, we do the podcast here. These faces familiar. It was a new space.
Yeah, but what he's saying is
learn
that
to swim again.
But what he's saying is that if a chiller came there, they might have thought, oh, it was just an okay show. But to us, we're like, that was terrible. We need to do better.
Because critics,
Yes.
And that's how us as artists, we always do.
Yes.
People think like, oh my God, you've done so well. I'm like,
If only you knew.
if you only knew that we should have done this, we should have done it, and this music should have been here, and these models should have walked better. I'm like, but anyway, it's done. There's nothing we can do. Yeah.
Ghost Lady, anything you want to ask?
Okay, I've got two questions. In terms of when it comes to the art of production, which part do you least like or just hate the most? Obviously, there's the designing. As you've mentioned, the production process.
The
to
hemline.
getting there.
Should be the hemline.
No. Do you know what a hemline is? No, I don't. Exactly.
So for instance, do you like actually working on the machine, sewing, or what is your best part and which is your least favorite?
I think, okay.
And then I've got another question.
Let's start with one.
Okay, let's do one. Okay.
So I'm not a control freak, but I love being hands-on. I can still sit on the machine, but I don't do it because I have a team now.
Yeah.
But one thing that I don't really enjoy is when we don't get it right, or when my team does not get it right, because it reflects bad on me. And because I'm trading with my name, it's not my team, it's me. And I have to man up to client to say, I did wrong. I'm not going to say my team did you wrong. I cannot do that. So I am so involved from design, concept, pattern making, in everything that we do in my studio. We do a sample first before we make the real garment. So you'd come in for your calico fitting, we do all the alterations. If there's major alterations, we have to make another sample for you before we cut the real garment. So that's the process, because we have to make sure that it's perfect all the time. And that's why people don't understand why designer clothing is so expensive. It is because we don't just like take a pencil, draw it, take the fabric and cut it and sew it, and then that's it. If I make a wedding dress or evening dress or something, before I cut the real fabric, I'll see you 3 times for fittings to make sure that it's perfect. Wow. Then we cut the real dress. Then between the first sample, the first dress, the first cutting of the real fabric until the last one, I can see anything between 4 and 5 times.
That's crazy.
And remember, when you go see a doctor, every time you consult, you pay a consultation fee to take the test.
Yes.
They're like, we're sending them to the lab, we pay. to come and get your own results. So that's what we do as well.
It's the consultation.
Y'all are making money, man.
Yeah.
Not really.
Wow.
Hope I can make money from you guys very soon.
Oh, which one is this?
I was gonna wait. We're going to. It's just cookies.
Yeah, ngizothenga.
Okay. You mentioned that you don't know of your dad, and you grew up obviously not. He was never present. Where does your imagination take you if he was in your life? Like, where would you think? How would it have influenced your life? Where would you be if he was?
I'm not able to because I've seen friends with parents, both mom and dad, being the worst, and mom and dad also being the best. So I cannot imagine my own space because I did not know his craft. I did not know his bank account. There are things I wish that I could have. And obviously I would wish for a perfect dad.
Yeah.
And maybe I would have an inheritance from him, or anything. But I can't imagine it because I don't even know his voice or even his face or anything else. So any fathering or male grooming that I've had has been from my neighbors, from church, family, my uncle, and that's all I know. But anything else, I'd be like, okay, I wish my dad was like this. It would be like wishful thinking because it wouldn't be real.
And also, when you grow up without a dad, that's normal.
That's your normal.
It's
That's
like
your normal.
That's
You know-
exactly.
You don't spend your life thinking about. I failed this test. If I had a dad, I would have passed. You know what I mean? It's all you know. Like
Exactly.
for example,
Your imagination. Where does your imagination take you? That's
The thing is, it's absent. I don't have an imagination because I've never had a relationship with him. If he would arrive, someone's asked me one day, if someone came to you today, say, I'm your dad. I'm like, dude, I'm so happy for you.
Yeah.
My life goes on. Please go on with your life because it's 49 years later. Where have you been all my life? Where have you been?
49.
I'm turning 50 in 9 months.
oh, beautiful, bro.
Dave in the building. And you 50. You guys in the 50s are looking good, man. You did fat Joe, your skin,
something.
We take care of ourselves.
Yeah, you guys take care of yourselves, man.
Take care of ourselves. The 70s kids, they take care of themselves.
Yeah, and you smell good. What is that, man?
Always.
What color? Yeah, I've met you 3 times. What's that thing you have on?
He's into colognes.
This is my concoction that I'm busy building. Wow. It will come out very soon.
Yeah.
Why do you always wear black?
You always smell good. Yeah.
Why do I always black? Because black is right.
Okay.
Isn't it safe?
That sounds like
it's not
it's too
safe.
deep for
Sounds like it's
something.
safe.
Sounds like those too deep for nothing.
Yes, black is right. Hey, man, but these Black Studios boys, they're always in black and they're always wrong. What do you mean?
No,
Black is right.
Let me break it down to you
Yes.
guys because I work with color every day and I choose the best colors for my customers and for my collections, and also because my life is so it's very colorful.
Yes.
Okay, like from morning until the end. So I didn't have to. Like I know this 12 years ago, I started breaking down colors. Like, okay, I hate this color.
Okay.
I started disliking Kalanje out of nowhere. Then I was like, okay, let me wear white shirts and colorful pants. And I did that. I'm like, it's not working. So I started black and white. And then from there, I was like, this white shirt is really intrusive on my job because I'm always working. I'm on the desk, I'm signing. Then from there, I have an event, I have to go home and change. It's not working. Slowly, I was out. Then I started wearing black. I was very comfortable and I grew very comfortable. And then I just felt good. And my happy color is black. And my brightest color in my wardrobe is black.
Wow.
So, and also it just makes life easy. If I leave from here,
Boom.
I can go to an event. I don't have to go home to change. I can just pop in my jacket and I'm cool. I've dressed up. And I've understood my style over years. And I've defined it. And I know who I am and I know what I stand for. And I know what makes me feel like I'm present without making an effort.
Yes, it's very authoritative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
black.
it's and those things, they come with time and age. I'm going to speak like a 50-year-old today. It comes with time where you define yourself and you stand by it and you own it without even having to apologize for it at any given time. Many times people are like, we're inviting you to your all-white party or the pink polo. I'm like, no problem, I'll be there. They're like, what are you wearing? I'm like, my clothes, which is black.
Black, yeah.
And they'll be like, but everybody will be like, I'm not everybody. My name is David Tlale. You want me there? You're going to take me as I am.
Black is
Sorry,
beautiful,
you said I must not touch the table. I did.
No, that's fine. Don't worry about it. It's just a
We
table.
were
man.
scared it was gonna collapse. It's not like it's
No, but
it's
Like my chair.
Yeah, I was scared it was gonna collapse. The chair's been collapsing.
Penduka, last question.
You just said, man, that you've defined your style as far as your dress sense. But how would you define like a David Tlale collection or design? Or how do we, like, how will I identify it without seeing that the label is David Tlale? How would you,
I think
what's the common thread?
That's a question that I should be asking you. When you hear the name David Tlale, what lands in your head? Because what we've created it's luxury, timeless, expensive,
Elegance.
There are
elegance.
many designers in that category.
Of
that fit
course,
those, that tick those boxes.
And that's what we do. And that's what I can tell you right now. Last year when we celebrated 20th anniversary, when we invited our customers to come to the celebration, everybody pulled out their archives. They were wearing their pieces from 10 years ago. Another girl, like, you made my metric dance. Sadly, I can't fit in it. I bought this blouse 12 years ago at Edgar's. And I'm like, oh, this is what we've created.
Oh, wow.
And timeless pieces, not from these online stores that you can wear tomorrow. 10 years later, it will still look good. I have a client that has just returned. He's like, when my husband died, you made me look so good. And I want to look good going forward. And that outfit that I wore for my husband's burial, it still fits me like a glove.
Wow.
And that's what we create. And we create beautiful pieces. And we're not about Zen or art inspired me. Great. We, as the House of David Tlale, we believe in it has to be beautifully made. It has to be expensive fabric. It has to fit well. And then we know that is a David Tlale.
Hey, by the way, man, what did you think? Because I know at the time you didn't know us. We hadn't met before. But what did you think when the community wanted to cancel us? What was your thought process?
I was like, people have an opinion. They can say whatever, but you can't cancel a good thing. It will always be there.
Black is right. Always right.
No, I mean, the thing is, it don't matter what people say. Even in my industry, not everybody loves you.
Of course.
And people will hate you for no particular reason. They just feel like, why is he doing a lot? It's because I'm working.
Yeah.
You know, they hate that.
Yeah.
And the sad part is they're not even dealing with their own demons. They are lashing out on Twitter and everything else. I'm like, can you just stop? And look inside what this program is about. Let's look at what David Tlale is about. How many people does he employ? How many families does he feed?
They don't give a fuck about that.
No, they don't.
Well, they don't care about that. People just like, okay, let's get this show cancelled. Because why? They don't think. How many people are in this room? Over 10 people. How many listeners are listening to this podcast? So many people. But you think about it. When we all live here, when we depart from this place, so many families are going to be taken care of.
Yes.
We're going to buy petrol, meaning we're supporting a system. We're buying alcohol, we're buying food, we're buying everything. From which money?
Yeah.
From this show.
Exactly.
So how come you have an opinion about my business, even if when I'm going through a lot as a person, why are you part of it? And the sad part, the people that always have an opinion is people who are doing nothing.
They don't even consume.
They don't even consume.
They don't even consume.
Because I remember when I was going through a lot of challenges in my journey, people was like, yeah, but you have this. And I'm like, wait, I'm an entrepreneur. I've started from zero.
Yep.
Today, I employ 48 people on a full-time basis. I feed 48 families. What are you doing? And you have an opinion on how a business should run. Have you ever started one?
Anything,
So
created nothing.
all I'm saying
How
is
many viewers do you have on your podcasts?
maybe do you know how to spell a podcast?
Yeah, you know what I mean?
So all I'm just saying is people think you are being shady or anything. It's not being shady. It's being real. And I've always said to people, don't come and advise me on how to run a business when you've never had one.
Ooh.
Don't. Don't.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what it took for me to be where I'm at today. It has taken blood, sweat, and
Sacrifices.
tears, sacrifices, and everything else. And today, you have a nerve to have an opinion about the house of David Tlale. You don't know what makes us tick. And don't make me pray on you because you don't know what will happen.
Yeah.
And they're not cut from the same cloth.
Is that the mic?
Before you go, you're a legend, man, and long may it
thank you.
continue. But what do you want to be remembered as when it's all said and done?
I want to be remembered as that young boy from Fosterers who rose from nothing and touched and changed people's lives and inspired brands like Muso Maxwell, Sipho Sihle Masango, Antando XV, Minamu, and many other young designers that have come through the program, The Intern by David Tlale, to say, this man has changed our lives. This man has made us dream big. Because when we grew up from Fosterers, being a fashion designer was unheard of. And here we are today. We are able to say we have showcased at New York Fashion Week, Paris Fashion Week, and we inspire other young people to say we want to be that. Every time I showcase in an international stage, then, before the Tebe Magugu and Mnisi and Maxhosa came into play, it used to hurt me to be the only South African designer to be showcasing at New York Fashion Week. And be like, there's many of us that go to these universities and academic spaces, and then we graduate and then we do nothing. Why is it only one David Tlale? Why is it now only Tebe Magugu, David Tlale, and Mnisi that are doing this and Maxhosa? We need more of us. Because when you look at New York Fashion Week, there's hundreds of designers that actually showcase there. We need to make sure that we recreate and make sure that this clothing and textile industry continues and grows from generation to generation. I want one day people to remember us like people remember Christian Dior today.
Yes.
Without thinking, like, oh, I want David Tlale. Oh, even if David Tlale is dead tomorrow or next year or whenever, or 20 or 100 years from now, I want people to remember that legacy.
Man, what's your succession plan? Yeah, because like Christian Dior now, it's not owned by the Dior family. What's your succession plan?
Oh, there's many things on the plate right now, so just watch the space.
Okay. I like that. We're watching the space a lot today, man. Yeah.
I think you should. Maybe I want you to be high, probably. So, there's a lot of things that are happening. Our business model is changing. Like I say, we train a lot of young designers. As I speak to you today, it's the 8th of May. Yeah.
Yes.
5 of our young designers are showcasing at Soweto Fashion Week tonight that we are training. And it's one of those beautiful things that we actually want to be known for and remembered for. And also to people like, why Soweto Fashion Week? I'm like, because Ekasi, that's where the real thing actually happens.
The authenticity.
Exactly. And for me, my designer's like, are you sure, sir? Are we supposed to? I'm like, we are going there. And I will be there and I'll see you there tonight. So for me is that we have to change the game. We have to inspire. And the one thing that I want to say before we finish this podcast is that as human beings, we are born, we learn, we learn to walk, we go to school to be educated, and along the journey, there's drama. You'll fall, you'll rise, you'll fall, you'll rise. Do not be defined by your past. Do not be defined by your mistakes. Be defined by your journey and your future where you want to be. Along the journey, you will shut down, you'll file for bankruptcy and everything else. One thing for sure I can tell you, rise up again tomorrow. Give your talent, give your craft one more day. You'll be surprised what will happen tomorrow.
That is our new intro.
That was beautiful.
That was beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for David Tlale. Dr. David. Podcast and chill. We out here, man. Boom.
Welcome to Black Excellence. Do not fear, for if you do, just sip on some grandeur. And if you still do, ask ourselves, what would Mapapunzi do? Parama chila, itlesha lefiki. Ungoyigi, even when they ask you, how sabi yini? do not fear. For if you do, just say, anesthesia. This is the medicine of censorship. This is the pill. Which one is that one? Podcast and chill.